Hello, my name is Brendan, and I am a hypnotherapist and stop smoking consultant with over 11 years' experience. And today I am going to share with you a really powerful technique that I use to help people quit smoking. This technique changes the associations that we have with cigarettes and with the act of smoking. Because we've been smoking for so long, most of us who try and quit come to associate smoking with something positive, even if we don't consciously think, yeah, I'm going to have a cigarette and it's going to be great. At a subconscious level, there is something about having a cigarette which is a positive experience for us. So it might be that we associate smoking with finishing a good meal and then we cap it off with a cigarette. It might be that we start our day with a cigarette and subconsciously it's like this is the right way to start the day. It might be when we're stressed, we think that having a cigarette will relieve the stress. Therefore, a cigarette is a positive thing to do. This technique changes the positive associations that we have with smoking into negative associations. So that when we think about smoking, we think about something negative, something awful. Now, this technique is incredibly powerful in changing the way that you feel about smoking. So much to a point where even thinking about lighting up a cigarette and putting it in your mouth would just make you feel horrible. Now, before I share this technique with you, I do need to warn you that if you were of a weak stomach, this might not be the technique for you. That is because it is designed to make you feel uncomfortable. It is designed to be unpleasant. And it is designed to be a little bit disgusting. So if you have a weak stomach, or if you're not quite prepared to go through something that is disgusting and uncomfortable, then you might want to go and skip ahead to another video. Now, if you were on for the challenge, if you want to do this technique, I'm going to show you in just a second. In fact, I'm going to share this technique with you right now. So, first of all, take a nice deep breath in through your nose, hold it, and breathe out through your mouth, and just allow your eyes to close down. Now, think of a smell that you find totally disgusting. You need to be able to remember or imagine this smell vividly for this process to work effectively. You might, for example, think of a baby's dirty nappy. You might think of a rotten fish, or sour milk, or even sludge or pollution of raw sewage. Whatever makes you feel completely disgusted. Imagine or remember that awful smell now. Notice as you breathe it in how disgusted you really are. Get to think about how the smell makes you feel. And as you remember how this awful, disgusting smell makes you feel now, I would like you to squeeze your thumb and your middle finger together on your left hand. Now repeat this process as many times as you need to until you feel utterly disgusted. You can at this point pause this video and rewind, or you can complete the rest of this process and rewatch this video again to really enhance the effectiveness of it. Next, I'd like you to think of a taste that you find utterly disgusting. It can be a food, a beverage, or anything at all. You need to find something that is going to make you feel really quite sick. For example, how disgusted would you feel drinking the contents of a bucket that is filled with plenty of big, green, juicy lumps of phlegm? What if you mixed rotted fish and sour milk and snot into a glass and drank it? Are you feeling sick yet? Now, while you may feel sick, you will not be sick. But remember, You need to find something that is totally repulsive in order for this to work. Once again, squeeze your left thumb and middle finger together and imagine swallowing that disgusting substance. Keep doing this over and over again until you are ready to retch. Now, as you squeeze your left thumb and middle finger together, remembering how disgusting that smell and that taste are, imagine taking a little bit of a drag from a cigarette, then a little bit more, and a little bit more, yet gradually increasing the amount of cigarette smoke. Imagine that each time you inhale from a cigarette, a little bit more of that disgusting smell and that disgusting taste is getting mixed together with the smell and taste of a cigarette. Squeeze your left thumb and middle finger together, and as you do, imagine that you are smoking a cigarette. And as the cigarette is going into your mouth, that foul, disgusting, phlegmy bucket taste getting sucked up. Imagine every time you take a drag of that cigarette, the smell of that baby's dirty nappy is getting sucked up inside your throat. Now keep repeating this process and re-watching this video many times a day until you can no longer find anything but repulsion and disgust about the idea of smoking a cigarette. And that's it. That's the technique. You might want to practice this technique several times over to really build up those strong, powerful negative associations with smoking. And remember, it is as simple as thinking of a foul, disgusting smell and a foul, disgusting taste, creating a bright, vivid memory or a bright, vivid picture, and that smell and that taste, and imagining it. Imagine when you draw a cigarette, you are drawing that disgusting smell and drawing that disgusting taste into your mouth, so much so that it makes you want to retch. Now, yes, I told you it was going to be disgusting, but I find that this really, really helps get people to the point where they would try and draw in a cigarette and just want to retch. And it really does put people off the idea of smoking. For best results, listen to this 2 or 3 times a day until you quit and no longer even think about smoking. Now, I hope this technique works for you. If you try this technique and find it helpful, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I would really appreciate the feedback if you find this helpful. I would also really appreciate a like and a share. And of course, if you want more videos on quitting smoking or dealing with addictions, things that I normally talk about, then please do subscribe. Thank you very much for taking the time to check out this video.